What if the desk you're sitting at right now isn't just hurting your back, but is literally making you less intelligent, less creative, and less capable every single day you use it? I need to tell you something I was embarrassed to admit for a long time. I've worked from home for 4 years, and for 3 of those 4 years, I was working at a desk I got off Facebook Marketplace for $60. 60. I told myself it was fine, that the desk doesn't matter, the work matters. And then I saw my productivity data. My output had been steadily declining. My focus windows were getting shorter. I was taking more breaks not because I wanted to, but because my body was forcing me to stop. Hip flexors locked up, shoulders rounding forward, neck stiff by noon. The desk mattered. It really, really mattered. So I went all in. I ordered the Uplift V2 commercial standing desk in ash gray, the commercial grade version, for $780, and I want to give you the full, unfiltered picture of what happened after 90 days of daily use. Let me give you the full context because I think it matters. I run a small creative agency from my home office. That means I'm at this desk for real stretches. Not 8 hours. We're talking 10 to 12 hours on heavy days. Client calls, design work, writing, editing, all of it happens right here. My old setup was a 48-inch fixed-height desk with a surface that had started to bubble and warp. No cable management whatsoever. Just a tangled mess behind everything. I had 2 monitors, a laptop, external hard drives, a ring light base, and a speaker all crammed onto this surface that wasn't built for any of it. I'd tried a cheaper motorized desk from another brand about a year earlier and returned it after 2 weeks. It wobbled noticeably when I typed, the motor was loud enough to pick up on video calls, and the surface scratched within days. When I started researching seriously for a replacement, I kept running into Uplift, specifically the V2 commercial line. The word commercial caught me. This isn't a desk designed for someone who works occasionally. It's built for environments that demand durability, healthcare, schools, offices. That's exactly the kind of punishment my setup puts a desk through. What I needed this time was different from what I'd been shopping for before. I didn't just want a standing desk. I wanted a system. Something that would let me work the way my body was designed to work. Moving, shifting, alternating, instead of being locked into one position until my alarm told me to stretch. I also needed the surface to be practically indestructible. No more warping, no more bubbling, no more scratches from a coffee cup. The ash gray laminate on the Uplift is GreenGuard Gold certified, which means it passed strict chemical emissions standards for indoor environments. That's not just a health detail. That tells you the material is built to a higher standard than typical office furniture. And the size, 48 by 24 inches, was intentional on my part. I'd been working on a deeper surface, and I wanted to see how a shallower, wider layout would change my ergonomics. More horizontal space, less depth, monitors closer to eye level naturally. Turned out to be the right call. I wanted one desk for the rest of my working life. No more compromises. Okay, real talk about the buying process and setup experience. The price point made me pause. $780 is not a casual purchase. I spent 2 weeks going back and forth, comparing specs, reading reviews obsessively, watching other people's setups. And every time I tried to find a legitimate reason not to buy the Uplift, I couldn't. The competition either had weaker motors, lower weight capacity, shorter warranties, or wobble issues that people complained about constantly. When the boxes arrived, and yes, multiple boxes, my first instinct was the usual assembly anxiety. I've been burned before, but here's what surprised me. The V2 commercial frame feels noticeably more substantial than consumer-grade standing desks I've handled. The alloy steel components have a weight and rigidity to them that immediately communicates quality. Assembly was methodical, about 90 minutes solo, and the instruction documentation was clear enough that I didn't have to stop and Google anything. The one legitimate challenge was my cable situation. Running a full creative workstation means I have cables for everything. The wire management tray and dual grommets handled it, but I want to be honest that it takes intentional effort to do it right. Budget an extra 30 to 45 minutes to do the cable routing properly. It's worth it. The end result looks like something out of a studio setup. The moment I sat down at this desk for the first time, and I mean sat, before I even tried standing, I felt the difference. The surface is solid, zero flex even with both monitors, the laptop stand, and everything else loaded on it. The ash gray laminate has this clean, matte-adjacent finish that photographs beautifully and doesn't show fingerprints or smudges the way glossy surfaces do. It just looks clean constantly. I programmed my 4 height presets using the Advanced Comfort Flush Memory keypad. Sitting height, standing height, a perch height for when I want to lean on a stool, and a lower setting for when I use the rocker board. One button, smooth, quiet, fast, under 4 seconds to travel the full range. The 3-stage legs give this desk a height range that's noticeably wider than standard 2-stage desks. If you're taller than average, I'm 6'1", that matters. I can stand at a genuinely comfortable ergonomic height, not hunched, not overextended, just right. And the anti-collision system? I want to specifically highlight this because it saved me more than once. When the desk rises and encounters an obstacle, it stops and reverses automatically. My headphone stand was in the path one morning. No damage. The desk just stopped, reversed slightly, and waited. That's not a small thing when you have expensive equipment on and around your workspace. 90 days in, no fluff, just what actually changed. My physical discomfort during work hours drastically reduced. The neck stiffness I used to have every single afternoon is essentially gone. I alternate sitting and standing naturally now, without even thinking about it. My body just tells me when to switch and I press a button. My focus? Measurably better. I started tracking my deep work blocks and they've gotten longer. There's something about standing that keeps your nervous system engaged in a way that sitting simply doesn't. Client calls? I've had 3 separate clients comment on my background since upgrading. One asked if I'd moved into a studio. The ash gray surface and the clean cable management behind my setup just reads as professional in a way my old desk never did. In my industry, that perception matters. The surface itself, after 90 days of real heavy use, still flawless. No scratches, no stains, no warping. The GreenGuard certification isn't just a selling point. It reflects a surface material that was engineered to last. And the 15-year warranty on the frame and motors tells you everything about how Uplift feels about this product. That's not a marketing claim. That's a guarantee that backs up what the build quality already communicates from day one. $799 was the right call. Not because it's cheap, it isn't. But because when you do the math on how many hours per year you spend at your desk and what that time is worth, the price per hour over the life of this desk is almost nothing. If you're working from home seriously, whether that's a side hustle, a full business, or a remote job that pays your bills, your workspace is part of your performance. It's not a luxury to treat it that way. It's an investment in your output, your health, and honestly, your identity as someone who takes what they do seriously. The link to grab this exact Uplift V2 commercial in ash gray is in the description and pinned in the first comment below. I've linked the 48x24 configuration, the exact one I use daily. If you're between sizes or have questions about whether this setup would work for your specific situation, drop a comment. I've been in this thing every day for 3 months and I'll give you a straight answer. Like the video if this helped. It genuinely helps other people find honest reviews when they're in research mode. See you in the next one.